Chapter 1, The Arrival of the Purple Meteor.
Chapter 1, The Arrival of the Purple Meteor. It was a normal day in the small town of Pallet, where Ash Ketchum lived with his trusty Pikachu. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and everything seemed peaceful. But little did Ash know, a purple glowing meteor was hurtling towards Earth, carrying with it a dangerous parasite that would soon corrupt all types of animals. As the meteor crashed into the ground, a wave of purple energy spread out, infecting every living creature it touched. Animals of all shapes and sizes began to develop glowing purple eyes, their behavior becoming erratic and aggressive. The once peaceful town of Pallet was now overrun with corrupted animals, each falling under different Pokemon types and categories. Ash knew he had to do something to stop the chaos. He pulled out his AI device, a high-tech gadget that could scan and analyze the corrupted animals. With a quick scan, the device identified the different Pokemon types and categories each animal now belonged to. Fire type, Ash muttered as he scanned a group of flaming squirrels. Water type, he said as he scanned a pack of waterlogged wolves. Electric type, he noted as he scanned a herd of electrified elephants. As Ash continued to scan the corrupted animals, he realized that they were becoming more powerful and dangerous by the minute. He knew he had to act fast before the town was completely overrun. Chapter 2, The Battle Begins. With his trusty Pikachu by his side, Ash set out to battle the corrupted animals and restore peace to Pallet. The once peaceful town was now a battlefield, with Pokemon types clashing against each other in a fierce struggle for dominance. Go, Pikachu! Ash shouted as he released his electric-type Pokemon into the fray. Pikachu's cheeks crackled with electricity as he faced off against a group of corrupted water types. The battle was intense, with Pikachu dodging blasts of water and launching powerful thunderbolts at his opponents. Ash's AI device helped him strategize, identifying weaknesses in the corrupted animals and suggesting the best moves to use. As the battle raged on, Ash realized that he couldn't do it alone. He needed help from his friends and fellow Pokemon trainers. He sent out a call for assistance, and soon, a group of trainers arrived to join the fight. Together, Ash and his friends battled against the corrupted animals, using their Pokemon's unique abilities to overcome the powerful foes. The town of Pallet was a war zone, but Ash was determined to restore peace and order. Chapter 3, The Final Showdown. After hours of battling, Ash and his friends had managed to defeat most of the corrupted animals. But there was one final challenge standing in their way, a massive, dragon-like creature with glowing purple eyes. This one's a dragon type, Ash said as he scanned the creature with his AI device. We'll need to use our strongest Pokemon to take it down. With a roar, the dragon creature launched a blast of purple energy at Ash and his friends. But they were ready. Together, they unleashed a barrage of attacks, combining their Pokemon's powers to weaken the creature. As the battle reached its climax, Ash knew that victory was within reach. With one final, powerful attack, the dragon creature was defeated, its glowing purple eyes fading away as the parasite was destroyed. The town of Pallet was safe once again, thanks to the bravery and determination of Ash and his friends. The corrupted animals had been defeated, and peace had been restored. As the sun set on the town, Ash looked out at the peaceful landscape, grateful for the bond he shared with his Pokemon and the friends who had stood by his side in the face of danger. The battle may have been won, but Ash knew that there would always be new challenges to face in the world of Pokemon. And with that thought in mind, Ash and his friends set off on the next adventure, ready to face whatever challenges came their way. The end. Chapter 1, The Arrival of the Purple Meteor. It was a normal day in the small town of Pallet, where Ash Ketchum lived with his trusty Pikachu. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and everything seemed peaceful. But that peace was about to be shattered by the arrival of a strange purple meteor that streaked across the sky and crashed into the nearby forest. Curious, Ash and Pikachu made their way to the crash site to investigate. What they found was beyond anything they could have imagined. The meteor had split open, revealing a strange glowing purple substance that seemed to be infecting the animals in the forest. As they watched in horror, the animals began to change. Their eyes started to glow with a strange purple light, and they seemed to be under some kind of control. Ash knew that he had to do something to stop this strange phenomenon before it spread any further. Chapter 2, The Corruption Spreads. As Ash and Pikachu raced back to town to warn the others, they could see that the corruption was spreading fast. Animals of all shapes and sizes were now infected with the strange purple glow, and they were starting to act erratically. Ash knew that he had to find a way to stop this before it was too late. He pulled out his trusty AI device, which he had used to scan and identify Pokemon in the past. Maybe it could help him figure out what was going on with these corrupted animals. As he scanned the animals, the AI device began to beep and whir. It was identifying the animals as different types and categories, just like Pokemon. Ash realized that the purple meteor had somehow turned these animals into Pokemon-like creatures, each with their own unique abilities and powers. Chapter 3, The Battle Begins. Armed with this new knowledge, Ash knew that he had to act fast. The corrupted animals were wreaking havoc on the town, and it was up to him to stop them. He called upon his friends Misty and Brock to help him in this battle against the corrupted creatures. Together, they set out to capture and contain the corrupted animals, using their Pokemon skills and knowledge to outsmart them. Ash used his AI device to scan each animal and determine its type and category, allowing him to strategize and plan his attacks accordingly. The battle was fierce and intense, with the corrupted animals putting up a tough fight. But Ash and his friends were determined to save their town from destruction. With quick thinking and clever tactics, they were able to capture and contain the corrupted creatures one by one. Chapter 4. The Final Showdown. As the sun began to set on the town of Pallet, Ash and his friends knew that they were facing their toughest challenge yet. The source of the corruption, the purple meteor, still loomed large in the forest, its strange glow casting an eerie light over the town. Determined to put an end to this madness once and for all, Ash and his friends set out to confront the source of the corruption. They knew that they would have to face whatever lay beyond the meteor, no matter how dangerous it might be. As they approached the meteor, they could feel a strange energy emanating from it. The ground shook beneath their feet, and a powerful force seemed to be pulling them towards the meteor. But Ash and his friends stood the ground, ready to face whatever awaited them. With a final burst of courage, Ash and his friends charged towards the meteor, ready to put an end to the corruption once and for all. The battle that followed was fierce and intense, with the fate of the town hanging in the balance. In the end, it was Ash and Pikachu who emerged victorious, using their skills and determination to defeat the source of the corruption. The purple glow faded from the animals, and they returned to their normal selves once more. As the town of Pallet celebrated their victory, Ash knew that he had faced a challenge unlike any other. But with his friends by his side and his trusty Pikachu at his side, he knew that they could overcome anything that came their way. Answer: the legend of Ash Ketchum, the Pokemon master who saved his town from the corrupted animals, lived on for generations to come. Chapter 1. The Arrival of the Purple Meteor. It was a normal day in the small town of Pallet, where Ash Ketchum lived with his trusty Pikachu. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and everything seemed peaceful. But that peace was about to be shattered by the arrival of a strange purple meteor that streaked across the sky and crashed into the nearby forest. Curious, Ash and Pikachu went to investigate, only to find a strange purple glow emanating from the crash site. As they got closer, they saw that the meteor had split open, revealing a strange, pulsating purple substance inside. Before they could react, the substance began to spread, infecting the nearby animals and causing them to develop glowing purple eyes. The once peaceful creatures now looked menacing and aggressive, as if they had been taken over by some dark force. Ash knew he had to do something to stop this corruption from spreading further. He pulled out his AI device, a high-tech gadget that could scan and analyze different types of creatures. He pointed it at the corrupted animals and watched as they were categorized into different Pokemon types and categories. The once innocent creatures were now classified as dark types, ghost types, and even dragon types. It was as if they had been transformed into real-life Pokemon, with their own unique abilities and weaknesses. As Ash scanned more and more of the corrupted animals, he realized that they were becoming more powerful and dangerous. They were no longer just mindless creatures, but formidable opponents that posed a real threat to the town and its inhabitants. Chapter 2. The battle begins. With his trusty Pikachu by his side, Ash knew he had to act fast to stop the corrupted animals from causing any more harm. He called upon his friends, Misty and Brock, to help him in this battle against the dark forces that had taken over the town. Together, they formed a plan to capture and contain the corrupted animals before they could do any more damage. Armed with their Pokemon and their wits, they set out into the forest to confront the creatures head-on. The first creature they encountered was a massive bear with glowing purple eyes. It had been classified as a dark type, with the ability to manipulate shadows and darkness to its advantage. Ash knew he had to be careful, as this creature was not to be underestimated. With Pikachu leading the charge, they engaged the bear in a fierce battle. The bear used its dark powers to create illusions and confusion, but Ash and his friends were able to outsmart it with the quick thinking and teamwork. After a long and grueling battle, they finally managed to capture the bear and contain it in a special containment unit. But they knew that this was just the beginning of their fight against the corrupted animals. Chapter 3. The Final Showdown. As they continued their journey through the forest, Ash and his friends encountered more and more corrupted animals, each more powerful and dangerous than the last. They faced off against ghost types that could phase through walls, dragon types that could breathe fire, and even psychic types that could manipulate minds. But through sheer determination and skill, they were able to capture and contain each and every one of them. They knew that they had to stop the corruption at its source, the strange purple substance that had infected the animals in the first place. Finally, they reached the crash site of the meteor, where they found the source of the corruption. It was a strange alien creature, with glowing purple eyes and a sinister grin. It had been controlling the animals all along, using them as pawns in its dark scheme. With a fierce battle cry, Ash and his friends charged at the alien creature, ready to put an end to its reign of terror once and for all. The battle was intense, with the creature using all of its powers to try and defeat them. But Ash and his friends were not about to give up. With their Pokemon by their side, they fought with all their might, using their skills and abilities to overcome the creature's dark powers. In the end, they emerged victorious, with the alien creature defeated and the corruption finally stopped. The animals returned to normal, the glowing purple eyes fading away as the dark influence lifted. As they stood victorious, Ash and his friends knew that they had saved the town from a terrible fate. They had proven that with courage, determination, and teamwork, anything was possible. Answer: they returned to Pallet Town as heroes, ready to face whatever challenges the future may bring. For they knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome any obstacle that came their way. The end. In the dark depths of the ocean, a purple glowing meteor crashed, unleashing alien robotic parasitoids that quickly found their way into the bodies of two terrifying deep-sea carnivorous fishes, an anglerfish and a fangtooth fish. As the parasitoids took control, the fish's eyes began to glow with a cosmic purple light, devoid of any pupils. With their newfound power, the corrupted creatures increased their swimming speed and agility, darting at each other with ungodly ferocity.
Their sharp teeth and powerful jaws clashed, sending shockwaves reverberating through the underwater landscape. Despite the brutal assaults, the fishes seemed to heal and regenerate from every wound, their bodies covered in neon-lit trails of purple light. The anglerfish, with its glowing headlight illuminating the dark waters, faced off against the fangtooth fish in an endless battle of destruction. The shattering of a purple crystal only fueled their intensity, each attack more powerful than the last. As the battle raged on, the fish's glowing eyes grew brighter and brighter, casting an eerie light over the underwater world. The clash of the corrupted creatures seemed to echo for eternity, their relentless assault showing no signs of slowing down. In this underwater arena of chaos and power, the anglerfish and fangtooth fish fought on, their bodies pulsating with the energy of the purple parasitoids. The once peaceful depths of the ocean were now a battleground of cosmic proportions, where only the strongest and most relentless would emerge victorious. In the dark depths of the ocean, a purple glowing meteor crashed, unleashing alien robotic parasitoids that quickly found their way into the bodies of two terrifying deep-sea carnivorous fishes, an anglerfish and a fangtooth fish. As the parasitoids took control, the fishes' eyes began to glow with a cosmic purple light, devoid of any pupils. With their newfound power, the corrupted creatures increased their swimming speed and agility, darting at each other with ungodly ferocity. Their sharp teeth and powerful jaws clashed, sending shockwaves reverberating through the underwater landscape. Despite the brutal assaults, the fishes seemed to heal and regenerate from every wound, their bodies covered in neon-lit trails of purple light. The anglerfish, with its glowing headlight shining brightly, faced off against the fangtooth fish in an endless battle of destruction. The shattering of a purple crystal only fueled their intensity, each attack more vicious than the last. The underwater world trembled as the two creatures fought relentlessly, their glowing eyes growing brighter with each passing moment. The eternal struggle between the corrupted anglerfish and fangtooth fish continued, a spectacle of power and chaos that seemed to have no end. The underwater landscape was forever changed by their battle, the once serene depths now filled with the blinding light of their cosmic eyes. As the creatures clashed, their movements became a blur of speed and violence, a dance of destruction that seemed to defy the laws of nature. The anglerfish and fangtooth fish were locked in a deadly embrace, their bodies pulsing with the power of the purple parasitoids that controlled them. And so, the underwater world bore witness to a battle unlike any other, a clash of titans that raged on for eternity. The corrupted creatures, with their glowing eyes and ungodly strength, fought on, their bodies wreathed in the neon glow of their cosmic power. And as the underwater landscape quaked with their fury, it seemed that nothing could stop the relentless onslaught of the anglerfish and fangtooth fish, locked in a never-ending struggle for dominance. In the dark depths of the ocean, a purple glowing meteor crashed, unleashing alien robotic parasitoids that quickly found their way into the bodies of two terrifying deep-sea carnivorous fishes, an anglerfish and a fangtooth fish. As the parasitoids took control, the fishes' eyes began to glow with a cosmic purple light, devoid of any pupils. With their newfound powers, the corrupted creatures increased their swimming speed and agility, darting at each other with ungodly ferocity. Their sharp teeth and powerful jaws clashed, sending shockwaves reverberating through the underwater landscape. Despite the brutal assaults, the fishes seemed to constantly heal and regenerate, their bodies covered in neon-lit trails of purple light. The anglerfish, with its glowing headlight shining brightly, faced off against the fangtooth fish in a never-ending battle. The shattering of purple crystals only fueled their intensity, each attack more devastating than the last. The underwater world trembled as the two creatures fought relentlessly, their glowing eyes growing brighter with each passing moment. The eternal struggle between the corrupted anglerfish and fangtooth fish continued, a spectacle of destruction and power that seemed to have no end. The underwater landscape was forever changed by their battle, the echoes of their clashes ringing out across the ocean floor. As the cosmic eyes of the creatures blazed with intensity, it was clear that this underwater war would rage on for eternity, a testament to the unstoppable force of nature and the terrifying power of the unknown.